Yes, that's what it's all about. Remember when we made these memories, Simon?
Yes. Now that theme, boys. Oh, in the absence of Phil, who's away on Kangaroo Flats or something.
No, he's not.
Nambucca Heads. Where'd he
He's
go?
away in Kangaroo Island off the coast of South Australia.
Oh, good.
Yes.
He'll call in later and tell us what he's doing.
Yes,
and all
he's
that.
a couple of days there.
But that song, we used to play a Max Bygraves version of the same song.
Did we really?
Remember when we made those melodies? Or something?
Yeah, memories. For Sunday night.
Yes, back when it used to be a 6-hour show, we had a variety of themes because we had a different song for each hour. So we also had something by the Statler Brothers, was it?
Oh, yes, I do remember
Sort
that.
of an upbeat...
Very upbeat, yes, I do remember that.
And we also played That's Why You Remember by Ernie Sigley.
Oh, yes.
You remember that one?
Yeah, I do.
Yes. Yeah, we open Remember When by remembering the themes we used for Remember
Isn't
When.
it a pity that they've all gone? They
Yes.
all ended up in the dump master.
Yes. Yes, as so much does these days.
But as we're not there, we'll surge on,
Exactly.
regardless, right?
It's good to see you. It's good to be here with
It's good to be back with you. Yeah, it's nice to at least catch up. You've done Midnight to Dawn with Andrew McLaren. Which
Yes,
I
that was
enjoyed
good fun for a couple of weeks.
very much.
Thank you.
You've had your break, and now you're back, so we're back to normal.
Yes, what we call normal anyway.
Exactly. All right, well, let's move on. I see the printout on the screen is indicating there's work to be done.
Yes, now you're going to have to talk me through this because I can't remember the format of Remember When. It's been so long since I've done
Obviously,
it.
the panel operator can't either, so let's go
He's trying to
ask
fix. He's trying to fix the screen for us.
Kathy with the hypoxic brain injury. Oh, that's our first topic.
No, I think that might have, yes, kids sport.
Yes,
No?
and a brain injury
Yeah.
and depression. Oh,
As we
dear
remember,
me.
Dr. Sally and Talking Health.
Indeed, 8:10.
The never-ending ongoing Sunday night quiz for Caruso's Super Liver Detox for liver health.
All right, then. What have you got emblazoned on your chest?
I've got Elton John and Billy Joel on my T-shirt.
They look good, don't they? They look almost
Almost lifelike.
pieces of art.
Yes, it was from their concert tour, and when they came out, and it was when I think they opened Crown Casino.
Oh, they did too.
Remember that?
Yes,
and then they
did.
came out a couple of months later and played the MCG.
Yes.
Two little small fat guys on a stage, and no one could see them.
Maybe for you, but there's great talent oozing from those from that podium. All right, now here's your questions, boys. What does FedEx stand for, Simon?
Federal Express.
Very good. 10 points to you. Name the brand of cake mix that shares its name with a colour.
Oh, is that greens?
Yeah, how did you
Oh,
know
well
that?
done.
Because I can't cook, so I just use cake mix.
No, but how do you know that? Greens. I would
I've
never-
seen it on the shelf next to Betty Crocker.
I'm glad Ken got that because I would have said white wings and I would have been wrong.
Well, I would have too. Complete the slogan, good on you, mum, the
Tip
one.
top's the one.
The
Well done.
If you're buying a Haynes Hunter, what would you be buying?
You'd be buying a boat.
That's right, a boat on Cop the Lot. Here you go, a Haynes Hunter. What is the predominant colour of the Australian Express post boxes?
Oh, well, that would be red.
Yes, and there is another, but I'll accept red.
Oh, the yellow one for the Express Post.
Very
Sorry,
good.
Yes.
Red
Okay, cool.
and yellow.
Glad you got that one. I wouldn't have a clue.
What do H&R Block do?
They are tax agents.
That's right. The Spirit of Australia is the tagline for which company?
Spirit of Tasmania.
No, the Spirit of Australia.
Spirit of Australia.
I hope I said Australia.
Spirit of Australia. I honestly don't know. I should, but I
you
don't.
should.
That is Qantas.
Yes, it is Qantas.
Oh, okay.
As I hit the lead.
Now, this is getting personal. Nads. Just a-
Please call him Ken. His name is Ken.
All right.
I'm ready.
Nads Veet and Nair. That's how I know him.
Yes.
Are all known as what?
They are hair removal
Oh,
creams.
please. In the old days, it'd be a chic.
Well, once. But don't put it anywhere delicate. Can really
Well, you
burn.
don't know that at 6 o'clock at night and 8 o'clock at night in adult company.
I actually thought of using it once.
I thought you did.
No, because right on my head. No, because my hair was receding sort of up the sides and then at the top, I was left with this little bit of fluff just at the front, sort of centre forehead bit.
We all have that.
Yes. And so I thought I should use some Nair or something and just get rid of that.
Oh, careful. Oh, you leave it on 10 minutes.
Yes, be very careful. It would never come back.
Well, my wife and my daughters all use the epilady things to do their legs.
Oh, well, all right, good.
They don't use your razor?
No.
Any girl I've ever known, they just grab your razor and...
All right, gentlemen, please. If you're eating a Sunny Boy, what would you be having?
Oh, a frozen ice drink.
Yes, an icy pole. What sits on top and below the words Hungry Jack's in its logo?
that is the Buns?
Yes, the burger bun.
Please don't call him Buns. His name is Bruce.
Yes.
Sorry.
I got buns at school when I had that waft of hair. Which brand of soap shares its name with a type of fabric?
Velvet.
There, good, very good. Which brand of aftershave features a ship?
That is Old Spice.
You're absolutely right.
Please call him Bruce.
So we've got scores so far, please.
Oh, well, this is unbelievable. Normally the scores are a little bit tipsy-topsy at the start of the show, but at the end of round one, scores are level.
Ooh.
Simon and myself, 50 points apiece.
Man, oh man, does that all go well for a very interesting night. The stage is set.
Absolutely.
The die is set. We haven't rehearsed that.
No.
It's just come out looking like it has.
Oh, you tell them,
Mediocre looking start to the night. 14 past 8.
Milestones and tombstones. Remember life with Cameo Memorials.
All right, buddy. Now
Yes.
listen to this, Sonny Jim. I'm going to get this is the birthday bulletin, and I'm going to give you someone who was born in 1932 this week. He's an English singer. He had the biggest hits in the 1960s, From Russia with Love, Walk Away, and Born Free.
Oh, yes. Born Free by Mel Torme.
No. Your aim is
Engelbert
right.
Humperdinck.
No, it was Matt Munro.
Oh, of course. Yes. What
You
an idiot.
Try me then.
All right, you'll love this one, Buzz, because I think you're a fan of his. He was born in 1901 and died in 1966, an American cartoonist and producer. He produced his first cartoon in 1928 that was a very famous cartoon.
Oh, well, Walt Disney.
Congratulations.
And was
yes.
that Mickey Mouse, I think?
Mickey Mouse in 1928.
Steamboat Willie.
Yes.
So Steamboat Mickey, perhaps. Now, also on this birthday bulletin of this week, I was born in 1935. Born in Brooklyn, New York. I'm an American actor and a director. I made my nightclub debut as a comedian in What's New Pussycat, a movie. Bananas I was in, Play It Again, Sam, Annie Hall, and Hannah and Her Sisters, Crimes and Misdemeanor. My second wife, Louise Lasseter, appeared in some of my early films. My former girlfriend, Mia Farrow, featured in 13 of my movies.
Now I've got it. That would be Woody Allen.
See, it has to be something like Mia Farrow, Little Johnny's memory.
That's right, yes. All the rest was a bit too old for me to remember.
Yeah, I know.
Now I've got one. This is a personal friend of yours, Booz. This lady was born in Moorabbin in Melbourne in 1948, an Australian TV presenter and singer. During the 70s, she became well known when she worked with Ernie Sigley on The Ernie Sigley Show.
Oh, my name is, and it's Ding Dong Drysdale. Denise
Denise,
Drysdale.
well done, boys.
Very good. 8:15, 3AW.
3AW Break.
There is our movie man on a Sunday night. Paul Harris, good evening.
Good evening, Bruce, and welcome back, Simon.
Thank you, Paul. Good to see you again after all this time.
Now, we're going out with Mum and Dad to see our first grown-up movie. Not necessarily salacious or nasty, but something that was a...
Oh, I'll cross some off my list then.
Yeah, some of them that you were in. Something Mum and Dad said, oh, look, you'll be all right. It's AO, but it's not too bad.
Well, in my case, I've got a vague memory of seeing Peyton Place and not understanding the first thing about it, but it looked pretty because it was set in New England in the snow, but these adults were arguing all the time, and I didn't really know what the problems were, but they were to do with, being married and relationships and all that kind of stuff.
What was mine? Troy Donahue and Sandra Dee in
A Summer Place?
A Summer Place.
Yes. Similar kind of fare.
And who was the father? Richard Egan.
Yes.
Bad-tempered fellow.
Very cranky.
Oh, shocking.
What's the matter with these teenagers
Get off that
today?
beach right now and put a T-shirt on. Get right like that.
My first ever adult movie experience came way too early in my life. Before I went to the movies, because I was born in 71, so when I was probably 7 or 8 years old, friends of mine had a sleepover, and they were older teenagers. And they had a sleepover, and I was invited, because they were neighbours. So I'm sleeping over, and they've put on a video cassette. They were a rich family. They had a video recorder, and they had a membership at the local video library.
Yeah, which is probably Riley Bishop.
So probably. So at the age of 7 or 8 or something, I watched The Omen.
Oh, you're far too young for that.
Far too young. I'd never been exposed to violence of any sort in my life, and here I am watching a guy's head get decapitated by glass, a lady throwing herself out of a building and hanging herself with a rope. It was...
And it was just in the kitchen.
But it was... My mum and dad had to come and pick me up. I couldn't stay the night. I was terrified.
Could you watch it, though, to say, listen, I'll steel myself. I'm a big boy now.
No. I couldn't. I could not
you
watch it
probably
again
had no
today.
forewarning. It's not The Omen. This sounds good. But you wouldn't have known what an omen was.
No, they just put on a movie. Oh, we're going to watch a movie, and so sit down, watch the trailers for other things.
Oh,
And
it was
then the
Gregory
movie
Peck.
starts.
He was into Kill a Mockingbird.
right.
This will be good.
Yeah, I didn't think anything of it.
Were you very much younger than the others?
Yes. I was. It was my older sister age group. So they were all sort of early teens.
Yes.
So I was a bit younger, but it was family sort of friends and stuff. But I was the youngest one there, and I was just way too young to see anything like that.
And you could never admit, I want to go home, or I want to ring Mum.
I cried. I started crying whilst watching the movie because I was so scared. And the parents came into there's kids in the rumpus room, they'll go watch a movie. And they're all in the kitchen having shandies or something. And so I was crying. So they had to come and get me and take me out. And I was so upset they had to ring my mum and dad and tell them to come and pick me up. Terrible.
Yes.
But it absolutely... I could not today. I couldn't even watch the trailer on YouTube.
Oh, really? Not even today?
No, exactly. No, it's just the thought of the movie just makes my blood run cold.
Traumatised for life.
Yeah, of course.
It's done. I'm sorry to bring the whole segment down. And
Very much
make it so depressing.
Yes, you have.
Of course, the argument now would be even young kids are exposed to violence on general television and, of course, the TV news.
Yes, of course. Yes. Horrific.
And the internet, you can't live in a cocoon.
No.
But taking the violence out of The Omen and that first one, my first cinema experience left me wanting. I didn't really enjoy it because, as a youngster in, what year was it, 1981, I was 10 years old.
Porkies.
No, 10 years old. Actually, it would have been my second movie experience, sorry, but my first sort of seeing an adult-related film. 1981, I was taken to see Chariots of Fire, which is the slowest, most uninteresting film for a 10-year-old kid.
Yes.
Yeah.
Even when they run, they do it in slow motion.
Exactly, yes.
In singlets.
All I recall is these guys in white singlets jogging on a beach, and that's the only thing I remember about the entire music. And my mum bought the soundtrack.
But you're not putting that into the category of an adult movie.
Well, it was a grown-up movie. But
For a 10-year-old.
as a 10-year-old, watching that was a grown-ups movie, and it just didn't interest me. It must have had a plot or something. I don't know.
It was a woeful film, Paul, wasn't it?
Yes, but it won a lot of Academy Awards, and I think the guy who wrote the film, who died recently, he got up at the Oscars, and he held his Oscar aloft, and he said, "The British are coming," and this was meant to be the rebirth of the British film industry. And that film, one of the producers, one of the money men behind it, was Dodi Fayed.
Oh, the Harrods man.
Yes.
Interesting.
You know, Princess Di's
boyfriend.
Yep.
All right. We go to the movies. First up with you, Paul.
Indeed, and two films to report this week. One is called Love the Coopers, which is a quite unfunny Christmas comedy with a great cast, though. Diane Keaton, John Goodman, Marisa Tomei, Amanda Seyfried and Alan Arkin. And it's basically what happens is that Diane Keaton is organising a big Christmas Eve social party, but it's announced that she's splitting up with her long-term husband of 40 years, John Goodman. So that puts a bit of a spoiler on things. And everyone in the family, they've all got problems. The kids have got separation anxieties, failed relationships, and it all turns into a kind of slapstick farce. Everything gets resolved towards the end. But the film is stolen by Alan Arkin, who plays Diane Keaton's father. He's very, very funny, and he gets all the best lines, but not the best. No. However, much better is Creed, which is the new Rocky movie, starring young black actor Michael B. Jordan as Adonis Johnson, the illegitimate son of Rocky's opponent in the ring, Apollo Creed, if you remember the original Rocky movies. And this young guy, he's got a good job in IT, but he wants to be a fighter. So he goes down to Tijuana across the border in Mexico, and he does these illegal fights, and he wants a shot at the world title, but he wants to do it on his own terms, because the name Creed, everyone will recognise who he is. So he calls himself Johnson, and eventually he hooks up with a very reluctant Rocky, Sylvester Stallone, who's now running a restaurant in Philadelphia. He's in his 70s. He doesn't want to have anything to do with the fight game. He very reluctantly becomes the kid's trainer and mentor, and a bit of a father figure. And the kid wins his first pro bout, a very convincing win, and then next thing, it's the world title. He gets a shot at the world title. And they're a bit hard to believe. But if you're a fight fan, you're going to love this movie. It's 133 minutes. It's quite long. But some of the fight scenes are very well done. You feel you're in the ring with the fighters.
Would that be one of the oldest sequels, like for almost 40 years from Rocky 1?
Well, yes, there's been 7 Rocky films in the last 40 years, and some of them got pretty outlandish. You know, had Rocky fighting the bad Russians and all that kind of thing. This one's back to the spirit of the original one in the 70s. It's set mainly in Philadelphia. He even races up the steps to the Museum of Art, you know, that famous shot.
From the scene from the original.
Yeah, but in this one he doesn't race, he walks, and he's mumbling to himself, "Ooh, I think they've added more steps."
Yeah.
So there are a few laughs there too.
So, all right, a thumbs up for Rocky.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, it's not quite my taste. I like films a bit more realistic, but really the film is a fairy tale for men.
Okay.
Does it have inspirational speeches in it?
Well, they try and downplay that to make it a bit more realistic for a modern audience.
Oh, okay.
And that's one of the strengths of the film, is it's not as corny as some of those speeches. And of course, you miss Burgess Meredith as Mickey. You know, and a lot of the old players have gone. Stallone's ex-wife, Adrienne, she's gone. He runs a restaurant called Adrienne, so he's a guy. He's a bit traumatised, the old Rocky, and that's the reason he doesn't want to get back in the fights. But he gets a rejuvenation of life. He also has health problems. I won't go any further into that. You've got to go and see the film. But at the end, it sets up a sequel.
All right, boys, I'm looking forward to getting back here to the studio to get your first grown-up movie when you went along with Mum and Dad. But hang on for first adult movies you went to, and Carol at Coburg.
Hi. The first one I saw, and I would have been about 10, was Psycho.
Oh, yes.
I had no idea why my parents would have taken us, my brother was 11, to see something like that. But the thing was, my brother was frightened of the dark. And in those days, the toilet was out in the backyard.
Yes.
So after we'd been, the two of us went downstairs together to the toilet before going to bed. I got there first. I came out, he went in, and I yelled out as I ran off, "Look out, here comes Mrs. Bates." He chased me up the stairs and caught me at the back door and tried to strangle me.
Oh, not surprised. What a cruel sister you are, Carol.
No, but it was funny. Not at the time, but it is now.
Does he laugh about it now, or...?
Yeah, he does.
How wonderful.
Well, just goes to show the power of the imagination, doesn't it?
Oh, it was scary. It was really frightening for a kid.
Well, he's not alone in the being afraid of going out. My mother has told me, and Mum's actually on a cruise to New Zealand at the moment, so she won't mind me telling the story because she won't hear it. But she used to live in Coburg out the back of a newsagent's, and they had an outside toilet. And Mum always imagined that there was someone on top of the toilet with a gun waiting to shoot whoever came out. So she and her sisters used to always weave as they ran down the path to the toilet.
To avoid the bullets.
To avoid the bullets, because they were that scared.
Isn't that funny?
There's lots of stories about kids who grew up watching Awful Movie with Deadly Ernest at home.
Oh, yes.
And they were too scared to go to the outside toilet or even the inside toilet because of all the
dark and
spooks
the corridor.
yeah.
And it all goes back to Carol and the way she treated her brother.
Yes, it does.
Goodness, toilets have moved inside.
Yes. Good on you, Carol.
Thank you, Carol. First experience with a grown-up movie. It could have affected you like Carol, in that you swerved your way down to the outhouse, or how did it affect
It's funny
you?
when you think about these films. Psycho, it almost sounds like they must have been kids' matinees. There's so many, 10-year-olds watching them.
Oh, yes.
There wouldn't have been any room for adults.
That's right. Exactly.
Now, having had the heck scared out of me when I saw The Omen, I thought that I would have been terrified of watching any other horror movie ever since. But there were a couple that I actually loved, very grown-up movies that I saw while I was relatively young. One was Amityville.
Oh, yes.
That haunted house with the blood coming out of the walls and stuff. I loved that movie.
Oh, yeah.
I thought that was great. And that was, when would that have been? Early 80s, late 70s or something?
About 79. So a couple of
I saw it on video cassette once again, so I probably saw that in the mid-80s, so I was probably 14, 15 by that time.
Doubly scary because, unlike The Omen, it was based on a true story.
Yes,
Yeah.
it was.
And the other one that scared me, which came out a bit after that, but I loved, and it's one that I want to sit down and watch that and its sequels as well, was Poltergeist.
Oh, I love
The little girl who disappears into the telly. That's all I remember. I remember loving it, but all I remember is that little girl with her hands up against the television.
You hated the girl who had the pee vomit.
Linda Blair.
I never saw The Exorcist, but my memory of The Exorcist is, and you know how scary that movie is, and it must have got a lot of press at the time. Again, I was in primary school. I was at a grade 6 assembly, and whilst everyone's there listening to the principal, rabbit on about whatever the principal was saying, all the talk amongst everyone was, did you see The Exorcist on telly last night? Oh, man, you should have seen when she did this and when the head twisted around. All these grade 6 kids. I was one of the few kids in grade 6 who didn't watch The Exorcist when it was on telly.
Did you feel like a bit of a wuss?
I did, yes, because everyone else was saying how awesome it was, and I was thinking, I just couldn't watch it. That one just looked too scary to me.
Yes, you were very much afraid of scary films, weren't you?
Yeah, a bit of a wuss, I guess, yes.
Oh, no, that's all right. You can admit that.
I have a softer side.
Of course you have. And it's coming out tonight. Sadly. It's 8:45 and...
Boss, can I tell you the first, I guess, grown-up movie that I went and saw, and it wasn't one that my parents took me to. My brother took me into town. We were getting to be, I guess, young teenagers. We went into town on a Saturday night and went to the Greater Union Cinema in Russell Street. And he said, we're going to go and see this movie. And it struck such a chord with me and had such an impact that I have never watched it again since. Because I just thought it was just so amazing that I could never have that same experience again, and it was The Elephant Man.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. I had no idea what we were going to see. I had no idea that it would be totally in black and white.
I'm trying to think of the scary aspect of that. Was it really that horrific?
I guess that when...
about a poor human being who's treated like a sideshow freak.
Yes, I understand.
And there's no sympathy for him because of the time in which he was brought up.
That's the story of Ken's life.
Right. Thanks, Simon.
Now,
Take care.
Katrina is adding to our grown-up movies.
Hello, boys.
Hello, Katrina.
Actually, I don't remember the age, and I fully support Simon when he talked about The Omen. I saw it on telly years ago. It was evil, the first. But I was just wondering, nobody's brought up about, and I was an adult, I no longer remember when, the movie Deliverance.
Oh,
You know,
yes.
with Burt Reynolds, and they go out with the hillbillies in the mountains, remember? And they're stuck with bows and arrows. What age maybe someone was allowed to see that at what age?
Well, that was one of the first films to have an R certificate.
And I was wondering, who's going to take Simon and Ken home tonight?
They're very scared.
Is Bruce going to offer to drive them home?
Oh, she's staying here with the night of the iguana.
I didn't realise that Ken was such a baby. They divulged his age this weekend. He's a baby, and then Simon's the next one up.
No, I'm actually younger than Ken.
Oh.
I was born 71. Ken was 68, was it, Ken? Yeah, 1968.
I was saying he was 35. So he's telling fibs, isn't he?
Ah, well, he looks 35.
So therefore, Big Bruce needs to take you boys home tonight.
I'll get an Uber, thanks, I'm right.
I'll go with your boys.
Bye, guys.
Good
Bye.
on you,
you will.
Katrina. Thank you.
Thank you, Katrina.
Did you drop me off?
A nice call. Another call coming in there. Thank you, Ken, at 7 to 9.
And whilst you're waiting for that call, Boos, a movie that wasn't sort of accepted as an adult movie in any way, shape or form, it was very much supposed to be a kid's movie, was E.T. But I found that to be a bit dark and scary.
Yes, it was a bit.
It was, yes.
Yes.
It was, E.T. was a cute little alien once you saw him and, waddling around and phone home with the glowing finger and all that.
Yeah.
But the overall feeling of the movie, it was a very darkly filmed movie, wasn't it, Paul?
Yep. I once saw a double bill at the Hoyts F&M. This is coming back to me. You don't need pyjamas at Rosie's, and the support was made in Sweden.
Goodness
and I was interested in Swedish culture, but the maid was M-A-I-D.
Oh, M-A-I-D, yes. So your eyes would have been out like organ stops.
Well, no, it's a bit like when you go to the sideshow alley. They hustle you inside, and then when you go inside, there's nothing really to see.
Oh, well, that's right. Yes, a man with two heads or a woman...
But it's all done with mirrors.
That's right.
Now, Mervin's at the door, Bruce, so we better get through these calls.
Oh, we better. Jenny, good evening.
Hello.
Hello, Jenny.
Hi. I remember as a little girl, was born in 53.
Mm-hmm.
So I must have been early 60s. My auntie decided to take myself and my little sister to a movie in the city. And it was Tom Jones.
Oh, very saucy.
Very saucy.
Yes, I know.
That's not unusual.
About 3/4 of the way through it, she said, "Oh, God, we better go." And she stood there behind the barrier while we had to wait in the foyer so she could see the end of the movie.
Oh.
Oh, yeah. All I can remember about it was, I think, someone doing it in the hay or something.
Yeah.
It sort of went over my head.
But all the women in it were very amply proportioned.
They were too.
Good on you, Jenny. Thank you for that.
It was like Canterbury Tales, wasn't it? Like...
Yeah, that style. Henry Fielding, who I think later, there was another film that came out that copied it called Mole Flanders.
Oh, Mole Flanders,
with Kim Novak.
Yes, exactly. Very much in the same mould. Ian, good evening.
Movies?
Yeah.
Guess when I was born?
When?
1971. Any good movies in 1971?
Well, you tell us.
What movies were there in 1971? What about A Nightmare on Elm Street? Was that good?
Yeah, but that's 1984, the first of those.
I wasn't born in 1984, I was born in 1971, mate.
Yeah.
No, I'm not saying you weren't. I mean, you quoted Nightmare on Elm Street, which belongs to the next decade.
I think Ian's having a little trouble grasping the concept of what we're talking about.
Here is a phone call that's horrific.
Wants to be a
Mervyn Purvis.
Have flashy flunkies everywhere.
Purvis.
Wants the bother of a country estate.
A country estate is something I'd hate.
Oh my. We certainly have good timing here, haven't we?
Good to see you, Mervyn. It's good to be back.
Yes, it's nice to see you. Have you been all right, Simon?
Yes, thank you. You're looking very well.
Well, I'm feeling good. I'm doing the exercises.
Good.
Yes.
I've been reading books on centipedes. It seems that's what you've got to know about. And millipedes.
In this quiz you do. My word, you do. What is a female fox called, please, boys?
Jennifer
Vixen.
Hawkins.
Vixen.
A vixen is right.
Well done.
Although Jennifer Hawkins is a good answer.
Yes, thank you.
Which animal can be broken into 1,000 pieces, join itself up again, and continue to live?
That'd be a centipede.
No, what is
A
it?
millipede.
Any ideas?
A worm?
A red sponge.
Oh, yes.
Something you don't think of, do you?
Oh, speaking of which, Phil will ring in later.
What colour are uncooked lobsters?
Red.
Red.
Green.
Dark blue or green.
Oh.
Thank you.
They only turn red and orange when they're cooked.
Showing off now. Good on
Yes,
you,
you
man.
are. Yeah. Who was Olive Oil's boyfriend before she met Popeye?
Oh, the guy who ate the Wimpy.
Wimpy. Yeah, well done.
Ham gravy.
Okay.
Who was Queen Victoria's famous Gilly? Queen Victoria's famous Gilly.
Gilly.
So, I don't know. Well, lover, boyfriend.
Frank.
Albert.
No.
Is that hand gravy?
John Brown.
Oh, yes, he was too, played by Billy Connolly.
Billy Connolly, yes. Interesting she was, the old Victoria.
Does Paul get points for mentioning Billy Connolly?
No, he doesn't. In
Oh.
fact, he gets 5 taken off him. What is a young turkey called?
A giblet.
Tony.
No.
What's a young turkey called,
goblet?
please?
Goblet? No.
A poult.
Oh,
A poult is right.
Poultry.
poltergeist.
What does a potometer, what does that measure?
Is that marijuana?
The depth of soil?
Water intake.
Oh.
Yeah, all right. What is a knout? Knout. K-N-O-U-T. Knout.
Don't know, but once an out's enough.
Clever. Oh, you might get a point for that. Very good.
10 for that.
It's a Russian flogging ship.
Oh, speaking of which, Phil will call in later.
Indeed.
Equal book.
If a human baby grew as fast as a baby whale, how tall would it be by the time it was 2?
About 20 metres. Oh, no, it's an English book, isn't it? About 40 feet.
65 feet.
Imagine that. And finally, which fabled monster had a lion's head and a serpent's tail?
Boys.
A sea serpent.
No, the...
Hydra. No.
Chimera. Chimera.
Oh, yeah,
Chimera.
yes.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
As long as you do, Mervyn.
All right, Mervyn, thank you. Well, the scores, please.
Oh, well, I'll have a quick look at the scoreboard here. Simon, you did very well. You got on the board there with a score of 10. Not bad. Paul got 20. That was okay. I was 10 myself, so I'm pretty happy with that. But Mervyn, you've won again, Mervyn.
As usual.
90 points, Mervyn.
Next Sunday night, we go to the movies, which doesn't end up in a divorce. Both man, woman, partners love it.
He loved it, she hated it.
Oh, she hated it.
Yes.
Or vice versa.
Vice versa. Let's look at the movies that could end in divorce.
90 points, Mervyn. Happy?
Well, good evening and welcome to the next hour of Remember When, Simon.
Thank you, boys. Looking forward to this. We're going to we'll be hearing from Phil shortly.
Yes, Phil's away at the moment. Phil on Kangaroo Island decided to slip over there just off the coast of South Australia. Enjoy some beautiful country over there.
And we're going to take calls on a favourite topic of mine. Not that I talk about it a lot, but I certainly consume a lot of it.
And that's food, glorious food.
Yes.
And you certainly know and have a fang for food, don't you?
Oh, yes, I do. Although, having said that, I'm quite shallow in my tastes.
Although you do love chocolate, don't you? The Jamaican rum and tart.
Yes, rum and raisin chocolate. Originally by McRobertson's old gold chocolate, but now a Cadbury product.
Wonderful. Great product.
I do love that.
So that's what we'll be talking about, the changing face and changing taste of food through the years. When you used to entertain, when you had birthdays and the kids' birthdays, what are the things you prepared totally different for today? And I suppose it's all out to McDonald's now, or
McDonald's party's very common, yes.
or off to a Pixie party or something in a shop.
I'm surprised that no other fast food outlet does the same thing as McDonald's and have a room for kids' parties. It's only McDonald's who do it. Why don't KFC, Red Rooster, any of those places do it?
I thought it'd be illogical to do that. It's very surprising. Love to know why. Perhaps somebody might let us know.
Ronald, if you're listening.
Yeah, 96900
The never-ending ongoing Sunday night quiz for Caruso's Super Liver Detox for liver health.
I think we better check on that score there, Simon.
Oh, it's not all that good for me. I'm on 100 points, pleased with that, but Ken's on 130. That's right, isn't it, Ken?
That's not bad. Oh, before we start the quiz, can I bring you greetings, gentlemen, from a couple of people, a couple of friends that I caught up with today?
Yeah?
Just at their home?
Dr. Sally?
The Premier, Daniel Andrews, sends his best to yourself and Phil also, of course. And the Right Honourable Linda Dessau, the Governor of Victoria, a big fan of the program, loves Ross and John in the mornings, and of course hears that because when she goes to bed at night, she's got Bruce and Phil on the bedside table.
Could I ask an impertinent and maybe private question? Why the company today?
I was at the Premier's Volunteer Champions Awards at Government House today.
Were you nominated?
My father was nominated
Oh.
and one of the finalists and was presented there.
And just explain the champion prize, please.
It's the volunteers, so that so many volunteers from so many walks of life, from so many age groups, all presented and rewarded for some of their work. Some, of course, very embarrassed
And
to be doing so.
what of Dad? Any
Dad
recognition?
does a lot of work with the Prostate Cancer Foundation,
very
support
good.
groups and so forth,
Very
and
good.
Beyond Blue. So a lot of people from so many organisations, all recognised this morning at Government House.
Oh, that's a grand accolade. I love to hear that volunteers are getting a pat on the back and just recognition for what they do.
Should do that as a topic tomorrow night on Nightline.
What's that?
Where do you volunteer?
Yeah, that's a good thing. That's a very good thought.
Most people do some sort of volunteer work somewhere.
Yeah, that's a good idea. That was lovely though. So you spoke? No, you didn't speak to them.
I did, yeah, absolutely.
Oh,
Had a word with her, and the Governor absolutely loves Bruce and Phil.
Oh, isn't that delightful?
Linda Dessau, the Right
Oh,
Honourable.
Beautiful.
Beautiful.
All right, Simon, are you ready to go?
I certainly am, Bush.
Name the security company beginning with an A that transports money.
Armagard.
Very good indeed. Name the shampoo that shares its name with a fruit.
Oh, gee. Shampoo. Pears.
Pears
Well
is
done.
right.
Yep.
What does BMW stand for?
Oh, now, I used to say Belgian Motorworks. It's something like Bavarian Motorworks.
Yes, that's in fact what it is.
Thank you.
Fava, Pinto, and Cannellini are types of what?
They are types of spaghetti sauce.
No. Fava, Pinto, and Cannellini. You should know this with your Italian background.
They're beans.
Beans.
Thank you.
Okay, all right.
Good indeed. Back to you, Simon. With whom does Barbie have an on-off romantic relationship with?
Ken.
This is true.
Yeah.
What would you
More
use?
plastic.
What would you use a creepy crawly for?
For cleaning your pool.
Yes, very good. What is the first name of the hairdresser, Mr. Sassoon, who has a well-known hair care brand?
Yes. Vidal.
Vidal Sassoon.
Gee, how'd you know that?
I used to use his product.
What would you find in a box of Trill?
That it would be a bird seed.
Yes, very good.
Where are these questions from, Boos?
It's from the Logo board game,
A
Simon.
very good game it is too.
Hey, I see Rob Elliott's got another board game about to be launched
Oh,
too.
has he?
We should get hold of it.
Love
Not
to get
sure,
hold-
not
love-
sure of the game of it or how you play
Love
it.
to get hold of that.
We'll get him on one night. He can tell us about
We should.
What were Woolworth stores originally known as in Victoria?
it. Safeway.
Safeway, very good. Which Gold Logie winning actress starred in a number of Coles ads in the 1990s?
Oh, the very gorgeous Lisa McCune.
Yes, you're right. What supermarket is the home of Red Spot Specials?
Coles.
No.
No. Oh.
Would that be Woolworths?
Yes, it is Woolworths.
Thank you.
And name the supermarket chain that was promoted by a talking brown paper bag.
Oh, Tucker Bag.
Tucker bag it is.
My favourite.
Doing very well and closer than you'd think.
All right, let's confirm here, Simon.
Yep.
I've got you at 160. Added
Yes.
you, add up there. I've got myself just in front. Just in front. Anything can happen. One round to go on 190.
Correct. Spot on.
Milestones and tombstones. Remember life with Cameo Memorials.
All right, we're celebrating Birthdays Bulletin, the birthday bulletin for this week, and those who passed or those who were born. As with this case, they were born in 1968 in Queens, New York, a U.S. actress born to Chinese immigrants. I played Ling Wu in the Ally McBeal series. My films include Charlie's Angels, Shanghai Moon, and Jerry Maguire.
Yes.
I want my name, please.
I can picture
I
her.
provided the voice of Master Viper in the Kung Fu Panda movies.
Yes, I can picture her. She's quite beautiful.
Yes, she was lovely. She had a fag down in Parramatta Road when I was with her.
Yes, she was one of your friends, and her name is...
So you could say
Oh, can I have an initials?
L.
L. Oh, Lucy Lou.
Lucy Lou, that's how are you, love?
Thank you. This one is a politician, Booz. Born in Maitland, Sydney, 1948, she is a female Australian politician. Was senator for Queensland and leader of the Democrats from 93 to 97, before joining the Labor Party and becoming the member for Dixon in 1998.
Right, me pink.
Initials are C.K.
C.K. Catherine Lawrence. No,
Cheryl.
Cheryl Curnow.
Correct.
Oh, very good. I was born in the Union of Serbia and Montenegro, formerly Yugoslavia, in 1973. I'm a Yugoslav-born American tennis player. I became a US citizen in 1994. I won the Grand Slam singles title of the 20th century, winning the French Championship in 16 years. I'm the youngest player to win the Australian Open in 1991. I won 6 of the past 7 Grand Slams, compiling a match record of 140-11 in 2 years. I was attacked in 1993 with a knife by a 38-year-old obsessive fan at the Citizen Cup tournament in Hamburg.
Yes. Now, I remember the young lady in question, and it was not Martina Hingis, it's not Steffi Graf, it's... Oh, can I have initials again?
M.
Oh, she used to grunt a lot as well.
I think she may have had the odd grunt. I'm not sure.
Oh, no, I can't think. No.
MS.
Maria Sharapova.
Monica Seles.
Ah, close.
Have you got one?
I had the initials right. I do. Now, this is a musician who you would love, Bruce. You would have been a big fan of his. Born in 1932 in Georgia, in the US. He is a rock and roll singer, songwriter and pianist. His 50s rock classics include Tutti Frutti, Long Tall Sally, Keep a Knockin', Lucille, and Good Golly, Miss Molly.
Dear Little Richard.
Yes.
Is that the one I'm thinking of?
That's the
Very good. This is one for you, finally born in Kenwood, Los Angeles in 1981. My hits include Baby One More Time, Oops, I Did It Again, Lucky You Drive Me Crazy. In 2003, I was #1 with the single Me Against the Music, featuring Madonna.
Yes, that would be Britney Spears.
Britney Spears, it's her birthday this week, 34 years of age.
I liked her better as a Mouseketeer.
Oh, really? Well, she was a Mouseketeer for a long time.
Yes.
This is Remember When, 20 minutes past. I think we better check on that score there, Simon.
Oh, it's not all that good for me. I'm on 100 points, pleased with that, but Ken's on 130. That's right, isn't it, Ken?
That's not bad. Oh, before we start the quiz, can I bring you greetings, gentlemen, from a couple of people, a couple of friends that I caught up with today?
Yeah?
Just at their home.
Dr. Sally?
The Premier, Daniel Andrews, sends his best to yourself and Phil also, of course. And the Right Honourable Linda Dessau, the Governor of Victoria, a big fan of the program, loves Ross and John in the mornings, and of course hears that because when she goes to bed at night, she's got Bruce and Phil on the bedside table.
Can I ask an impertinent and maybe private question? Why the company today?
I was at the Premier's Volunteer Champions Awards at Government House today.
Were you nominated?
My father was nominated and one of the finalists and was presented there.
And just explain the champion prize, please.
It's the volunteers, so that so many volunteers from so many walks of life, from so many age groups, all presented and rewarded for some of their work. Some, of course, very embarrassed.
And what of Dad? Any recognition?
Dad does a lot of work with the Prostate Cancer Foundation support groups and so forth, and Beyond Blue. So a lot of people from so many organisations, all recognised this morning at Government House.
Oh, that's a grand accolade. I love to hear that volunteers are getting a pat on the back and just recognition for what they do.
Should do that as a topic tomorrow night on Nightline.
What's that?
Where do you volunteer?
Yeah, that's a good thing. That's a very good thought.
Most people do some sort of volunteer work somewhere.
Yeah, that's a good idea. That was lovely though. So you spoke? No, you didn't speak to the Premier.
Yeah, absolutely. Had a word with her, and the Governor absolutely loves Bruce and Phil.
Oh, isn't that delightful?
Linda Dessau, the Right Honourable.
Beautiful. All right, Simon, are you ready to go?
I certainly am, Bush.
Name the security company beginning with an A that transports money.
Armaguard.
Very good indeed. Name the shampoo that shares its name with a fruit.
Oh, gee. Shampoo. Pears.
Pears is right.
Yep.
What does BMW stand for?
Oh, now, I used to say Belgian Motorworks. It's something like Bavarian Motorworks.
Yes, that's in fact what it is.
Thank you.
Oh.
Fava, Pinto, and cannellini are types of what?
They are types of spaghetti sauce.
No. Fava, Pinto, and cannellini. You should know this with your Italian background.
They're beans.
Beans.
Thank you.
Okay, all
Good indeed. Back to you, Simon. With whom does Barbie have an on-off romantic relationship with?
Ken.
This is true.
Yeah.
What would you
More
use?
plastic.
What would you use a creepy crawly for?
For cleaning your pool.
Yes, very good. What is the first name of the hairdresser Mr. Sassoon, who has a well-known hair care brand?
Yes. Vidal.
Vidal Sassoon.
Gee, how'd you know that?
I used to use his product.
What would you find in a box of Trill?
That it would be a bird seed.
Yes, yes, very good.
Where are these questions from, Boos?
From the Logo board game, Simon.
A very good game it is too.
Hey, I see Rob Elliott's got another board game about to be launched
Oh,
too.
has he?
We should get hold of it.
Love to get hold-
Not sure of the game of it or how you play
Love
it.
to get hold of that.
We'll get him on one night. He can tell us about
We should.
What were Woolworths stores originally known as in Victoria?
Safeway.
Safeway, very good. Which Gold Logie-winning actress starred in a number of Coles ads in the 1990s?
Oh, the very gorgeous Lisa McCune.
Yes, you're right. What supermarket is the home of Red Spot Specials?
Coles.
No.
No. Oh.
Would that be Woolworths?
Yes, it is Woolworths.
Thank you.
And name the supermarket chain that was promoted by a talking brown paper bag.
Oh, Tucker Bag.
Tucker Bag it is.
My favourite.
Doing very well and closer than you'd think.
All right, let's confirm here, Simon.
Yep.
I've got you at 160. Added
Yes.
you, add up there. I've got myself just in front. Just in front. Anything can happen. One round to go on 190.
Correct. Spot.
Oh, you'd be legless by 5.
Wow, was that fun? And then on our way home, this was cute. I've captured it for you on PBTV. There's a pelican feeding show where more than 100 pelicans with those great big bulbous beaks of theirs came down and we're throwing fish at them. That was yesterday's activities. I told you there's a lot to do on Kangaroo Island.
Sounds it, yes.
Today, Sunday, we started off enjoying viewing koala bears in gum trees.
So when are you home?
Then, no, listen, it gets better.
Quickly.
This afternoon we saw a remarkable rock formation out to sea, sculptured from millions of years ago. Granite boulders perched 75 metres above the sea. Wait till you see the TV. Wait till you see the video. Then we went to Admiral's Arch, formed over millions of years by the waves. And then we finished the day tickling New Zealand fur seals.
Where's the plane?
I'll be back tomorrow night, buddy. I can't wait to get back with you all.
Get me off this island.
Can I recommend Kangaroo Island? It's the best kept secret in Australia. You know, it was Matthew Flinders who was here in 1802.
Yeah.
He named the island. There's more than 1 million skippies.
How would you feel if you're going to be stranded there for another week?
Oh, that would be a bit hard to take. But 3 days is just perfect. I'm speaking to you.
Hard to take.
I'm in the Mercure Hotel at the American River. I'm with my friend Jill.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm also with, you'll be interested to know, I'm with Nigel from Nigel's Animal.
Oh, strike me pink, the whole world's there. Oh.
He's brought his little 8-year-old son Keegan, who's having the time of his life.
Oh,
and
sure.
boys, it would be more fun if you were here with me.
Oh, no, you're welcome to it. Have a lovely weekend there and just absorb everything that's there.
I'm going to wait for the book.
I will. You know, I'm absorbing so much culture and I'm learning so much from the locals. There used to be Aboriginals here, but they disappeared 5,000 years ago.
I don't blame them.
I'll see you tomorrow night, boys.
All the very best.
Good night from Adios and Auf Wiedersehen and Buenas noches from Kangaroo Island.